Well, good evening. Welcome to VP4 TV. Welcome to VP4 Online. We're here for Friday night 9-ball, and I've got some sort of infection again. I don't know what the hell it is, but I feel a bit rough. We're about 5 minutes away. Let's have a quick look and see how many's in. At the last count, there was still 4 spots available. And there's still 4 spots available. We haven't been getting full houses the last couple of weeks. Again, people will be away on holiday, vacation, whatever. But we've got our usual mixture in there tonight. But let's have a quick look at the state of affairs with the leagues. That's not the one I want. It's that one. No, maybe that was the right one I pressed. As we know, or if you haven't been paying attention, the Saturday night 9-ball league starts on Saturday, September the 3rd. The sign-up deadline is Friday, September the 2nd, but it's already full. The maximum was 6 teams. We have 6 teams in. If we look down and look at the teams, we'll see that we've got my team, VP4 TV, which has got myself, MC Clarkey, Potman, Tornado Tam and Mark Shark. And we have Team Pinas with Jover, Paulina, 24, Bullabog, Vexor. I presume that's a team. See, it's hard to understand what the teams are with it. I don't know why Steve's left these names in. It just confuses me. I mean, I know that that's my team. Those 5 players there, the other 2 are nothing to do with it because those are guys that were sent invites but never accepted them. So I don't think they should be there, but Steve says they should be, but I don't think that's right. Anyway, we've got Breaking the System, which has got Sylvia, Whit, Larry, Brainpullout and Christian. We've got Omega, which has got Z Karaoke, Graceley, Stefan, Ice Age. We have 9-ball shots, Bobby Barris, Sharky 9, Risk, and whatever that is, Guts. And we've got Lovely Bunch of Coconut, Semi-Pro, Bill, Tommy, Charlie Bravo, and Little Wolf. Now, if you look at the ratings of the team, the maximum rating for the overall team is 2,150. My team's the highest of the lot. It's 2,149. And because of that, I can't put MC Clark and Potman in the same team. And we'll have a look and we'll show you what I've chosen for the first weekend when we do this. I won't be playing. MC Clarkey won't be playing. He was last in the team, so I've left him out. And we have Potman, Tornado Tam and Mark Shark are going to be the 3 players that are set for the first Saturday of this league. Now, the lineup is 2,130, and that's with leaving MC Clarkey out. Now, if you look, excuse me, if you look at the semi-pro team, well, he's going to have to do the same. He can't have Tommy. He'll be lucky if he can have Tommy and himself in the team as well as one of those players, because that will still take it well over the rating, I would think. So I think only one of them will be able to play at a time. So semi-pro, I don't know how his lineup's going to be. We'll find that out once we get round to it. But he's going to struggle with his mixtures. You're going to have to probably put 2 of those guys in with one of them each week. That looks like how it's going to have to be. Right, anyway, we are almost at the top of the hour. And the tournament room should be going up. And we will go back to Friday night 9-ball, and we'll see that there are now 3 open seats. So I think that's going to be it. We're going to we're going to be 3 short, and which means that the tournament should go a bit quicker again. And we have DJ Redo, DJ Simon, Eloquente, Christian, Larry, Mooncake, Bill, Sylvia, Spectre Don, Spud Boy, Stepan, Tommy, and Z Karaoke. Right. Well, it's now am I still muted, guys? Alright. Probably isn't a bad thing that I'm muted, because I've caught a disease in the last couple of days and I'm trying to fend it off. I didn't do Friday night 9-ball last week because I was knackered, and because I had the 2 matches to do over the weekend. And then when it came to this morning, I got up, my nose was running. I've got a couple of tablets in me during the day to try and stifle it, and then I thought about pulling out tonight as well. But anyway, we're here. 2 players are now in the room. The match we're going to watch is this Z Karaoke Spectre Dawn match, because Z Karaoke hasn't been here for a while, but the one thing he was is he was not happy. He was not happy at what I said about his quality of play, so I'm going to go in and see if he's improved any. So Spectre Dawn has won the lag. He's breaking. I've never taken a COVID test. But the tablets I'm taking, they do their job. I'm probably due to take another 2. So as we look at the HUD, we'll see that player 1, Z Karaoke, who's from Brazil, I believe, is getting the 8-ball. The question is whether he's going to be good enough or get enough, well, not any, but is he going to get enough opportunities to get to the 8-ball? The interesting thing is, at work this morning, good evening to Cobra, at work this morning, the manager, that's the store manager now, this is, as I say, the biggest store in Scotland. So there's the big main manager, the big boss man, and then there's all the other managers for all the other areas in the store. But anyway, the big boss man came into the .com department, and he wanted to give us a briefing on on what he'd been doing in the store since he's arrived. He's a new manager, and we were all standing. There was probably about there was a good dozen or more of us all standing around, and they're all standing next to one another, and he's out in front giving us a speech, and I was the only one that had a mask on. Everybody else hasn't bothered. Now that you don't have to wear them, nobody's wearing them, and we're all standing right next to one another. And I had a quick look round, and not one of them had a mask on. I've got the mask on all the time in the store. I don't care. I don't care whether they say it's going down or it's going up. I've had it on constantly for what, over 2 years now. Good evening to Brain Pull Out, good evening to Hair Pig. And I'm going to be coughing quite a bit as well, I think. Excuse me. So, Spectre Dawn, as expected, off and running. And remember, it's winner breaks as well. So, whenever Z Karaoke gets a chance, he's going to have to get to that 8 ball. We know that by now. Now, I'm back on, in fact, that's the thing I haven't checked. I'm back on my XSplit Gamecaster tonight, not broadcaster, so we don't have all the bells and whistles. Spectre Dawn is very quickly going to go 2-0 up. Well, I think Spectre Dawn's got a target. He wants to try and beat Bill. Well, match Bill's feat of getting to the end of a match where he's just run 7 racks. So Spectre Dawn's on the way. Yeah, the chat appears on my normal monitor now, which is handy. When I use broadcaster, it has to be on my second monitor, and the chat's a lot smaller because it's a very small monitor. Well, I'm partially half asleep as I always am at this time of night. But as I said, I've caught a little bug. A slight cold or whatever it is, and I'm going to take another couple of tabs before I go to bed. No logo and timer. Oh no, there's nothing like that on XSplit Gamecaster. Oh, you're talking about the chat at the bottom of the screen, yeah. Well, this might be a slight issue. No, but you can get it, no problem. Now, a quick reminder as well, for any of you guys, if you're not around on Sunday, Sunday night sees the semi-final match, or the one-loss side final, however you want to call it, in the VP4 2022 World Cribbage Championships. And it's going to be between Cobra from the UK and Machine from the USA. And that goes ahead on Sunday night, provided I'm feeling a bit better. Well, it'll go ahead regardless whether I feel better or not. But the match starts at 7 PM British Summer Time, 2 PM Eastern Standard Time, 11 AM Pacific, and we'll have a live streaming commentary on that one. And of course, the winner will then have to try and overcome Albinario. Cobra looking to have another bite at the cherry. Albinario having sent him to that one-loss side in an excellent final rack decider match. If you haven't seen it, it's on the YouTube channel, it's on the playlist. It's well worth a watch. So, Z Karaoke has been at the table, I think, and that was to do the lag. I don't recall him having a shot so far. Excuse me. Now, what's Blind Hog doing getting in the room if he's watching the stream? Somebody answer that question. Yep, and he should be out again here. And if he does, he'll be halfway to matching Bill's feet. of breaking and running 7 racks in a row. Well, in 9 ball I only move it around, you know, just to see the odd angle. But it's not like I don't move it around like I do in cribbage. I mean, most of the time you don't need to move it in 9 ball, but in cribbage you do to look and see whether there's combos on and stuff like that. So the crucial break, every break's crucial now. He has to get a ball, and he's got a couple of balls, and he's on the 1 ball. Now he's dead straight in the 1 ball, so he looks as if he's just going to have to come back and play that 2 into the side, because he doesn't want to try and force the cue ball out by cheating any angle here. I think he's just going to come back. He might even draw back towards the 4. Well, he's trying to bump it out slightly, I think. No. Well, this is the one that's going to be the big test, because the angle in the 2 is not great. He's going to be heading up in a line, so he's going to have to do something to get this cue ball to come back that way. So that would be left English. And he's got the left English on it. He has to get it to come. And he needs to slow down. Now, he's going to have to dig out the jump stick to keep this run going. Oh, he did have a shot in rack 3, I never noticed. Well, he's going to get another shot at Z Karaoke, but it's going to have to be a kick, because Spectre Don's left him nothing. And this has to go safe. And that's not going to be safe enough. This is straight as well, so the angle on this 7, he can go to the rail and come back across. He'll just leave the cut in the 8 ball. Well, he's going to stun it. He's going to stun behind it. Yeah. So, by that reckoning, then, according to Hairpig, then that's Z Karaoke's had 2 visits to the table. Now, I can't see that result that's come up on the screen, because my clock and everything is on top of it. Now it says Larry something, and I don't know what's happened there. What's the score in that match there, guys? Did Tommy turn up? I could only see Larry. Right, so Tommy hasn't shown. So Spectre Don off and running again. And again, this is probably the important shot, getting good in the 3. Let's have a look at this 6 ball. Well, I think we can agree that that 6 ball is frozen to the rail. So that's the one he has to be careful of. It's the one that could cause a problem, this 6 ball. He wants to try and get as good a line as he can on the 6, but he still needs an angle to come out for this 8 ball. So this isn't cut and dried, and he's got to get this flush. Any little chip onto the rail, and this will pop out. It's held the line. So Spectre Dawn marches on. So it's a really tall order for Z Karaoke. He's had nothing in the game. But that's going to be a scratch, so the table wide open with cue ball in hand, and this is where any player with any reasonable level at this game has to look at running this table. But it's a wee bit tricky because you've got to avoid the traffic, I was about to say, and straight away he's ran into the 8 ball and he's going to have to bail out with the jump stick. And then, of course, you've no idea whether you're going to be able to go on this 3 ball. Where's the cue ball going? Well, he's still got a shot. Let's have a look at this angle. Well, ideally we'd want to run through and try and get square in this 4 ball. But as anybody knows, if you stay away from this game for a while, you're going to find it tough to come back in, especially to a Friday night 9 ball, and start taking chances immediately. But that was an opportunity. And I don't think that Z Karaoke will be getting another one. I think this match is well and truly gone. Quick look at the 6 ball again. This looks fairly tight. I think it's off the rail yet. So he just wants to make sure he goes top side of this 8 ball, or stays top side of it. Well, I would assume with the line that he's got, he's just coming back. And that's good enough. So, less than 20 minutes, this match is over. And Spectre Dawn may well, unless he's due to play Larry, he might have a little wait. So, comfortable win for Spectre Dawn. Quick look at the bracket. And we'll see that Spud Boy has a bye into round 2. He's waiting the winner between Bill and Eloquenti, who's getting 7 and out. Sylvia is 3-2 down to Christian, who's getting 7 and out. Larry's waiting on the winner of that match. Stefan has a bye, and he's waiting on the winner of the match between DJ Simon and Mooncake. And Simon's getting a 7 ball. And Spectre Dawn's now about to play DJ Ridu, who had a bye. So what we'll do is we'll go in and catch the match between Simon and Mooncake. Mooncake now going into a 5-3 lead. I'll have a quick drink. Well, I'd like to thank you all for my birthday presents for yesterday. I got bugger all. Absolutely zilch. Mind you, it's like that every year. You still there, Mark? you still awake? I see Josephine Chuson's died. And when I read it, I thought, oh, she must be well into her 70s. I didn't know she was 91. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit rough, Cobra. Tell her it's man flu. I'm not sure how this voice will be at the end of the night because it's beginning to go already. Well, Mooncake got out of jail there, left Simon no shot. Oh, I thought, right, oh, that as well. I thought I was getting sympathy for my illness. Well, of course, being a Scot, I'm on borrowed time anyway. Having reached the sprightly old age of 58. There's not many of us get to that age. So Mooncake's going to be in the hill. Simon's got all the work to do if he gets a chance. Well, a couple of balls in the break. One ball over the pocket. An immediate problem is whether Mooncake can get an angle off the 2 to play some sort of breakout, because the 3's not going anywhere in that cluster with what looks to be the 9 and the 8. And he's got himself in a bit of trouble here. Hampered over the 7. Good evening to Bedhead. And that's going to scratch, but of course Simon with ball in hand can't really do anything either. But he doesn't want to leave Mooncake a shot, so he's trying to clip it and spin it round behind the 8 ball. And that's a good shot. Well, it's a good hit by the look of it. And Simon, if this 3 doesn't nail itself to the rail, is going to have his chance. Wants a little bump out. That's, of course, Simon's money ball, the 7 ball. Well, 6 balls gone in. And he's not got a very easy shot in this 1 ball. This is a dodgy cut. Trying to run for cover. And he's got it. Again, not a difficult hit. Of course, with Mooncake being on the hill, Simon can't afford any mistakes. And, well, he's going to have to get up the table off this 3 ball or stay below the 4. So he's got to decide what he's doing. It all depends on how he lines up in this 3. Well, that's perfect because he can play the 4 up table. And then his problem is the 7 ball. And he's come back he's come back a wee bit further than he would really have liked there. He should have been just rolling this up the table and the 5 into the side to try and maybe get in behind the 7 or nudge the 9. So he's just gone a wee bit out of shape here, and it's gone even further out of shape. And this is what it's all about. You know, you've got to get that line right. Makes your life a lot easier. Now he's having to go around the houses trying to get a shot. So this is going to be a cut up the table. Well, he decided to play the safety. But where it went wrong was that shot where he ended up further out into the table. That got him wrong, and then everything goes downhill from there. And well, the only thing that's wrong with that is Mooncake hasn't got the cue ball into the table either. So another bank. And that's going to, well, that'll do fine. I thought it was going to just skim past it, but it's hit it full in the face. So Simon's going to head over to that one-loss side. And Mooncake goes through to the next round. So, of course, Larry's match was forfeited. Spectre Dawn had a comfortable win. And there's somebody still asleep in that Z Karaoke Spectre Dawn room. Let's have a look at the bracket now. And Bill is 6-4 up against Eloquente. Spud Boy still waiting. Sylvia and Christian. Sylvia is 5-3 up. Larry waiting to play that one. And that result has just gone through there. That'll update in a second. Let's just change that. So Spectre Dawn, sorry, not Spectre Dawn, Stefan will be playing Mooncake in a minute or two. And Larry's waiting on this match with Sylvie. Let's go and watch that one. So Christian is getting 7 and out. I don't think I've ever checked where Christian's from. Where's he from? Oh, I can't see his bloody flag either. Is that one of the former Soviet Union countries? I can't read it because the chat's over in front of it. Somebody will tell me. And Sylvia's from Germany. Estonia. Good evening to Larry. Well, I wonder how many of you guys had a chat with one another and said, you know, we're sort of saying that we wouldn't get 6 teams for this 9-ball league. Were any of you thinking that? But we've got 6 teams. The biggest question of all is how many of them are going to turn up? That's the question. Like I say, Semi-Pro's got a problem with his team. Only one of his top players can play in each match. Those 2 lower-rated players are probably going to get a game pretty much every week. He's just going to have to rotate his top 3 players. So Sylvia has ball in hand to take her to the hill. Now this just needs a little soft draw and stun across to make sure you miss that 9 ball. But again, Sylvia does shots like that where I think she just sort of loses patience with herself, because there was nothing controlled about that shot. But she's going to get plenty of opportunities. And that's better. Well, we had a problem at what? Well, say that's better, and then she does that. Well, that was going to be the monkey would have been there a second or two if I was an XSplit broadcaster. We had a problem at work today. I finished my shift at 9:45 this morning, and at 10:15, in fact, even before then, the system had broken down, and which meant that we weren't getting any tickets printing out for the orders. And the last time I checked before I left to work, we still had 168 orders to fulfil. And then when I got home, I checked the app on my phone in the middle of the afternoon, which should have been well after the time we'd finished picking all the orders, and there was still 168 orders. So the system has been broken down all day. So that's 168 orders that were never fulfilled. So that is a big loss, I'll tell you. I don't know how they're going to overcome that. But that's what happens when computers go down. If you don't have a manual system as a backup, which we should have, we could have fulfilled those orders if we had a pen and a piece of paper. And it's crazy that we don't have a manual backup. That's what computers do for you when you rely on them, and when they go pear-shaped or the system goes down, how do you get round it? You know, most systems like ours, you don't. You either get it fixed or you lose the business. So Sylvia, perfect opportunity to show us how to get out on this table. And this is going to run into the 6. And again, misses the 4. And of course, Christian getting 7 and out. And it's all a bit of good fortune as to whether he or she is going to get good on these balls to try and get to that 7 ball. Now this needs to come back up the table towards the 9. It needs to get a good little dig in it. And make sure you bump the 9 out of the way. And I don't know whether that's done the trick. And it hasn't. And that cue ball's leaking away. And that's always a problem for the lower rated players, where they struggle in keeping that cue ball under any level of control. So, like I say, Sylvia's always going to get opportunities, but she's frittered away a fair amount from what we've seen. And she can't be doing that against Larry in the next round. So, ball in the break, 2 ball has gone. 1 ball looks a very, very thin cut, and that's not cutting. Well, it's cigarette paper thin cut, that. Waft it with a feather and it might go in. Now that one will cut on the side. Again, cue ball bouncing up and down the table though. And I think Christian is going to leave an opportunity here But Sylvia's going to have to play the combo if she can hold this cue ball. Let's have a look. Well, she's went for the bank. And this is bolt straight in the 1 ball. And just a bit too much juice in that, what I call a stun draw. Well, that's a good shot. That was well done. Now, Christian, let's see you get to this 7 ball. Well, just make sure you get the 5, roll the 6, and cut the 7, and you should be back within touch. Again, just taking shots far too quickly, not getting settled. And that'll be the chance gone. Now where's the 6 ball ending up? Well, that'll do it. That's handy. And that's going to be stuck to the rail though, so this is just a gentle roll in. So Sylvia is going to go through to play Larry. Christian moves over to the 1 loss side. And Christian's going to be getting hefty handicaps to their advantage. Right, so Bill has gone through against Eloquenti. That was the one result we missed. And now we've got Bill against Spudboy. And Bill is already 2-1 up. Spudboy getting 7 and out. The Sylvia match is just about to update. Mooncake is 3-0 up against Stefan. And DJ Redo has forfeited. What the hell happened there? Spectre Dawn, according to that, had 3 racks on the board. I never saw that result come through. I don't know what went on there. Did DJ Redo turn up? Is he in the chat? Maybe he was a no-show. Or did he play his first match, or did he get a bye? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he had a bye, so it looks as if DJ Redo. Well, he must have shown. Surely, if Spectre Dawn's got 3 racks, he must have been there. Oh, there he is. Now, let's have a quick look. Yeah, according to that, he's playing, so I don't know what happened. Whether he just decided to bail out. And there's still somebody asleep in that room with Z Karaoke and Spectre Dawn. Right, so I think we'll go in and watch a bit of Bill and Spudboy. Bill 2-1 up, Spudboy at the table, and Spudboy getting 7 and out. And he's going to be all square. Now he's looking at the 8 ball, but of course he doesn't need to worry about the 8 ball, just to make sure he pots this. Well, that's dry. And Bill's got a start. The 2 ball goes past the 4. Now the question is he going to come back up it into the table or come round behind it too? He's trying to draw at the rail and come out. Well, he's okay. Only problem is he's hampered by the 6. And he's pretty straight in this too. Not an awful lot he could do there. Is he trying to thin this? Well, that was a much thinner cut than Bill thought it was going to be. And you would think as long as Spud Boy can keep this cue ball in the clear, he's got to be out to the 7 ball. I mean, they're all wide open. He's dead straight in the 4. He doesn't want to try and pinch too much. And he didn't really get any spin in that at all. He really needed to stun that. I mean, that shot they had there, had he stunned that and spun it with left angle, he should have been over this side. You know, you've got to execute the shots properly. And this is how players don't, I keep going on about it, but players don't take their game to another level by not being able to execute the correct shot at the right time. Now, is he going to get that? No, just caught the point. And that's Spud Boy's chance come and gone, and it should have been the lead for Spud Boy. Well, commentator's curse. Bill having to stun that in to get the cue ball off the rail and out for the 6, and as we all know, as soon as you hit those jaws at any pace, you're going to rattle and stay out. So second goal here for Spud Boy. Can't waste this. Just a roll in the 6, roll in the 7. Oh, Steve's arrived in the room. On his laptop in some far-flung place, I believe. If he's out on the road like he said he is. So Spud Boy had to get a second go at that there. Bill being generous. Spud Boy's potted the 4 ball, I think, into the side. And I don't think he's really got much of a shot in the 1. Now, he's got a cut into the side where the cue ball is going up towards the 9 ball. And if it misses it, he's back into the table for a shot in the 2. Let's have a look at the line. I think that's a possibility, but he's looking at the other way, where he's going to be heading into traffic. Well, I think it was worth a go into the side and into the left side, knowing that if you got the pot, you would have come into the table had you not run into the 9, but anyway. Well, Bill's overcooked that, I think. Yep, Spud Boy should be getting another go here. Now, this is where you've got to take your medicine. You pot the 2 and you draw back and you don't scratch and you play the 3-9 combo. Unless he thinks he wants to try and bash this in and stun across for the 3. But I mean, they might have. I think he might get away with that. And then again, he might not. The more I look at it, the more I'm looking at the angle. Well, he's not really getting into it at all. So he should be just running for cover, but he doesn't want to push the 3 towards the 9 now. He's going to try and kick it in, I think, or he was thinking about it. And the problem with playing, if you play the 3 along that way, you're sending towards the 9, and the other thing is you've got to avoid hitting something to get distance here. Well, it wasn't a great effort at a safety. Well, that used all of the pocket. And Bill now with a perfect angle to get this rack over and done with. But all of these players are all making the same mistakes, and it's down to the understanding of that cue ball and how to control it. And if they did, there'd be an immediate improvement in all the games, because everybody can pot balls in VP4, but the potting the balls isn't the issue. It's the cue ball that's the issue for all the players that have this inconsistency. Spud Boy's one of them, and then he's been around a long time at VP. And with a 7 and out handicap, it's more than generous enough. If only he could really get a hold of the cue ball in a better way. And when you look at this table for somebody like Bill, you know, he's got to be out. Now, is that the 4 ball up there? Yeah, it is. So Bill needs some angle again. Now he's got the angle. Now there's nothing to stop him going forward. Well, he's played the safer shot. He's gone forward, but he wasn't coming out into the table. He's going to leave it long, which means he's going to need the combo or try and finish the short side, which he's done. Well, now I think he's got to go up the table and back down. No, he's again quite happy to leave these long shots. Well, Christian's time in this week's Friday Night 9 ball has come and gone. Tommy's taken him out 4-0. I can't see the Eloquenti GJ redo result. It's covered up. Meanwhile, Bill, into rack number 8, has had a couple of balls, the 5 and 6. No shot in the 1. 7 ball gets to a rail. Now this is dangerously close to the scratch in the side pocket if he was to go forward off this one and make the cut. He's trying to get cover. Now, I don't think there was enough there to make the cut, but Bill has got a roll of the ball. 1 ball is pushed to 2 in. And the 7 ball clearly goes, so once again Bill should be out. Now he needs to have the right angle in this. I don't think that's it. He's going to come out here in the middle of the table, I think. No, he's letting it run, but it's going to run too high. And now he's in trouble. And of course, this is Spud Boy's money ball. Now, there's a fair chance of this might go in off the 8 if it punches to the rail and he doesn't get it perfect. Oh, he's got it too much on the inside of the 7, so that's a gift that Spud Boy needed. And again, these money ball handicaps are always dangerous. If you're the favourite player, if you're the stronger player, and you start getting loose. And again, it was just because Bill didn't have the right angle on that ball into the side pocket. Had the cue ball been higher up, not a problem. It was game over. Meanwhile, Spud Boy in rack number 9, couple of balls in the break. Or certainly one anyway. And this is the one that will be more than likely catching him out. But the cue ball's certainly going to go in the right direction for a shot in the 5. And this cut in the 4 isn't a gimme. As long as he has the pace though. And in it goes. Now once again, this is where you just take your medicine, you pot the 5 and make sure the cue ball comes out into the table, because you're going to have a cut in the 6. That's a guaranteed. So you can't chicken out and stay on this side of the table, you've got to get across. And he's overdone it. Now, this is tricky. It's just heading on to that point, this cue ball. And Spud Boy is going to get another gift here if he can get down onto the 7. So the results are coming through. Mooncake through against Stefan, 7 racks to 2. And Bill, of course, when he resorts to the jump cue, he's always favourite. He's going to get some sort of shot. But again, it's a tester on this 8 ball. And that will do nicely. Cue ball. So, Spud Boy. Again, he doesn't need to worry about the 8 and 9 up the table. He's got the 2 ball over this corner pocket. Out into the table for the 3. Everything about this table for Spud Boy hinges on him getting up the table for the 3, for the 4, off that 3 ball. Now, ideally, the more controlled shot on this 3 would be playing the 3 and stunning up the table to anywhere by that line. That way you've got a cut in the 4 and back into the table for the 7 into the side, something like that. Whereas now that he's finished this side of the 3, this cut on the 3, is he playing the bank? Well, he was never picking the cut angle for that 3 there. I presume he was just playing safe. Well, that 9 might go. The 9 might go. And Spud Boy is paying heavily. Having his chance and failed to get there. And Bill gets a little roll of the cue ball onto the 8 and 9 combo, and he's on the hill. And Bill, again, a couple of balls in the break, and this match is over. Out into the table for the 5. And the only thing with this shot is you don't get into it too much. If you get, I think he's running to come in the top side of the 6 to take it down into this corner pocket. Because you don't want to get into the cue ball too much. You could end up scratching in that right side pocket. So he played the safe route. I don't know what this line is like though. Yeah, he was too straight. But, you know, you can get away with all sorts of shots in VP4. And this just needs a good firm stun. And that's the sort of shot that Spud Boy should have been playing on that 3 ball, but he finished on the wrong side of it. But that's the type of shot that's more controlled, as long as you get the weight under control. And players of Bill's calibre and the rest of them are all good at playing and judging those shots. And Spud Boy, well, he had enough chances there, he could have pinched that match. But Bill goes through it, 7 racks to 4. And the result that I didn't see was the one with Tommy and Christian. Tommy's through 4-0. Mooncake through 7 racks to 2 and Stefan, and that result there from Bill. And, well, now Mooncake is off and running against Spectre Dawn. Spectre Dawn has won the first rack. Sylvia and Larry. Larry's 4-2 up. And Bill is waiting in the winner of that match. So we'll go in and watch Mooncake and Spectre Dawn. And Mooncake had just tied the match up 1 rack all. And I think he's come up dry. Well, 1-0 cut in the side. He might just try and drag the pace off this. Or, yeah, he's content to leave it at distance. And he'll bring the cue ball back up the table for the 3 into the same pocket, I would imagine. 4 ball into the side, 6 ball goes, 5 ball quite close to the 4. So you would think he's just dropping onto the rail. He hasn't dropped through far enough though to make it comfortable. And the reason I'm saying that is you don't want to be cutting this 6 ball where you're running into the 7. And that's a clever shot. He's avoided that. Bill won that match but lost 50 points on his rating. Well, that'll be because he lost those, 4 racks in that match. Now, he doesn't want to run into the 9 ball when he cuts this 8. And that's, again, well played. Now, of course, that was Mooncake's break on that rack, having won the 2nd rack. So Spectre Dawn has pinched it. He's also got a ball in the break, and he's not got a shot in the 1, although he's got plenty of room to jump this at distance. He doesn't fancy it though. But he's got loads of room for a long jump. He tried to kick off the rail, and he's going to get 2nd prize. Of course, it's never a difficult shot to kick the one. You just got to hope that it doesn't run into the 7 and you get distance and get a lucky roll. No, it's not lucky enough. Spectre Don will be cutting this. Oh, a nice little brush off the 5. Nice little brush onto the 2. And just a roll through onto the rail. For either the 4 into the side or up table. Now here's a question for any boxing fans that are paying attention. I don't think there's that many watching, but this fight between Joshua and, what's his name, Usyk, or whatever his name is, this heavyweight title bout, it's in what, Saudi Arabia or whatever the hell it is. Does anybody have any clue when it's due to start? Because they're what, like 4 or 5 hours in front of British summertime. If it was to go ahead at peak time, British summertime, it would be the middle of the night in Saudi Arabia. So has anybody seen anything about when it's due to start? Because I'm hoping to get a stream of it before I go to bed. In fact, does anybody? No, it's not tonight. It'll be Saturday night, or maybe the early hours of Sunday morning. But I have no clue when it's due to start. I was hoping to catch some of it. Joshua is about 2 stone heavier than his opponent. I don't know whether that will do him any good. He might burn out quicker. That's the only thing about that with the heavier weight. And it depends whether it's in an air-conditioned arena or whether it's outside. Well, let's have a quick look at this 7 ball. Well, the 7 ball does go past the 9 on that side. So this is a crucial little shot here. Now ideally, now it says 6 PM Eastern Standard Time. So that would be, that'll be an estimated time of when it's due to start, like 11 PM British Summer Time. Well, I'll be in bed long before that. Because there's the undercard that will go on before that. There'll be, a couple of hours of fights before the main event. Where's the cue ball going? Well, Mooncake's going to have his work cut out to get back into this. There's going to be 4 racks to 1 any second. Of course, it'll be box office in the States as well, this fight, so that's perfect timing for US side. And a little billiard, little clip on the 1 onto the 9 with the cue ball for a quick rack. And Larry has gone through comfortably against Sylvia, 7 racks to 3. Inspector Dawn, I think that's dry. Well, this is where the comeback has to start from Mooncake, because he's getting a 7 ball, and first problem here is that this 2 ball will go in. It's tight, but it does go, and that was a pretty poor effort, I'm afraid. Caught far too much of that 8 ball. And Mooncake's already thinking that he's seen the end of this rack. Yeah, I'm just having a cough. I'll have another one without it being muted. Yeah, but I'm back on Gamecaster tonight. I'm not using Broadcaster tonight. Oh, that was a sensible shot by Spectre Dawn. You know, when you've got your man down, you keep him down. Well, this time, this will just be a gentle roll on this 1 ball, just so that he pushes that 5 ball into the pocket and keeps the 1 ball there. That way he can get back out comfortably onto the 2. See, he definitely didn't want the 1 ball to go in, so now you can just dink it in. Nice angle now, just to stun up the table. This is a type. See, these shots here that Spectre Dawn's playing. This is the type of shots that players who are lower rated they need to work on, because it's all about how you control the cue ball. So there's certain shots that you have to execute good each time, and that little stun shot is something that far too many players need to work on. They also need to work on the stun drop and executing that, because that controls your cue ball control better as well. Gives you better control, better handling of the cue ball, being able to use the pace, but by controlling the tip of the cue ball, you control the spin in the cue ball and the pace in the spin. You know, if you're watching these streams, I would hope you're trying to watch and actually gain and learn from watching these guys. But anyway, Spectre Dawn is looking like a strong candidate again for getting to this final. So he's now waiting on the winner of the match between Bill and Larry. And on the other side, in the one-loss side, Eloquenti's playing Stefan. We've got Z Karaoke, who's 2-1 up against Spud Boy. And but we're going to, if I can get this to work, we're going to head across and watch the match between Bill and Larry. And Larry is, according to that, unless it updates, he's 2-0 down and Larry's getting the 8 ball. Are you still there, Steve, or you get bored already? Because I'm going to have a rant and a moan. And I know that you'll come round to my way of thinking once I've aired my suggestion, but I won't be airing it unless you're there listening. No, he's gone. Or he's doing the wives move, he's saying nothing to pretend that he's not there. So Larry is off the mark. 1 rack on the board, getting the 8 ball. Bill at the table, and well, the only one that's going to be the issue is quite clearly the 7 ball. That's the one that's going to be tricky, and therefore the cue ball, how it finishes on this 6 ball, is the vital shot. Now, let's have a look. It's not going past the 9. The angle that he's got, if he was to draw off that, he would draw close to this 8 ball in the side pocket, and that's probably as good as he could expect. But he got the problem ball out the way, and he's going to have a 3 racks to 1 lead. Well, I don't know what ball went in. What went in? The 2 ball's gone. I think he can get enough of this 1 ball. Let's have a look. Yes, he can. So just drop it in, basically, and well, he's come around behind it. I don't know whether that's as good an idea as maybe leaving it into the side here and running down and spinning into the 4 and 5. He's trying his best from that side. Well, that works. That works perfectly. That would have been a replay had this been an expert broadcaster. That's come up smelling of roses, that shot. Oh, that's a roll of the ball that comes in handy. And Larry now, of course, he needs to have a shot to have a chance. He's not had a shot since we've joined the room. Well, DJ Simon has gone to bed early because he's forfeited to Sylvia. And meanwhile, Bill's broke off in rack number 6 and it's dry, but of course Larry, with all his good fortune, has got nothing to go for other than a push out. Well, that's clever of Steve, if he's still watching and actually keeping his mouth shut and saying nothing, so I don't go off in a rant. Well, that was a roll of the ball. Once again, the roll of the ball gets Larry the fluke, but he's got no shot in the one again. Right, the rant is, Steve, I think that having those excess players in the team list is confusing. And I think it's confusing for people looking at the teams as well. And Semi-Pro agrees with me as well. He'll back me up. Because it's the thing is that as a captain, I know who my players are. I know who's in my team. But the other guys watching and looking at the team list, they don't know, or they're not sure. Because those excess players that are all invites, they're appearing in that list and they shouldn't be there. So I think we need to get rid of them. And I think everybody else agrees with me. I've had a think about it and I've came to that conclusion. It is there because then players and captains know who has been invited. But the thing is that the captains know that because it shows on the team on the team manager. That will go away after the league starts. Did you say that? Oh, I never caught that. I wasn't that by the time I wasn't listening to you. So we'll be looking forward to that going away then. This is a bit thin. Oh, there's another rub of the green there for Bill. He's getting a few little nice rolls here. And it's not looking good for Larry. Well, I reckon there's a few people looking at the leagues and wishing they had got in them now. Eloquente's gone through against Stefan, 4 racks to 0. And Bill, a man in a mission, that 6 ball's going to go in. And he's got... I thought that was a 1 ball up there. That's a 9 ball. Well, 1 ball doesn't go. Is he trying to cut it in the opposite corner? Yeah, so here's Larry's first chance since we joined this room. Yeah, the you've not been around an awful lot, Rotor Monkey. That's probably the one reason you don't know. You haven't been, certainly not around on my time, but the leagues have been advertised for a couple of weeks, and although there was testing done on them, this is the first time it's going to go live, and we've got 6 teams in. In fact, we'll show you that in a little second. We'll just see Larry getting to the 8 ball here, and I'll show you the league, the teams in a little minute or two. In fact, we'll give this rack to Larry because there's no way he's messing this up. Right, so if we go to the little tab, we've got the Saturday Night 9-Ball League. The sign-ups are closed. It was open to 6 teams. 6 teams of 3 players plus 2 subs. So the teams have got 5 players in them. Well, most of them have. And if you're a team manager, a team captain, you can go into the team manager and have a look at your team and set your logo. You'll see that I'm not in as a player at the moment. I've already got my team picked for the first match, which starts on Saturday the 3rd of September. MC Clarkey was last in the team, and he's got quite a high rating. The rating limit for the team is at 2150. My team is overall rating is 2149. My lineup is 2130 for the rating, and the players that are going to play are Popman, Tornado Tam, and Mark Shark. Those players, Steve-O and Power Slam, are players that I sent invites to, but they never took up the invitation. And then this little tab here is the only one that captains see. These are other players who put their names forward to be chosen for teams, but I think the teams are all pretty much settled now. And if we look down, we'll see the teams that are here. We've got VP4 TV, which is my team, and those are the 5 players in the team, and the other faded out players are the ones that aren't in. And we've got Team Pinas, Jover, Paulina 24, Bullabog, and Vexor. We've got Breaking the System with Sylvia, Wit, Larry, and Brainpullout and Christian. We've got Team Omega with Z Karaoke, Grace Lake, Stefan, and Ice Age. And we've got 9-Ball Shots with Bobby Barris, Sharky 9, Risk, and Guts. And then finally we've got Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, Semi-Pro, Bill, Tommy, Charlie Bravo, and Little Wolf. But like I say, with the rating limit being set to 2150, neither Semi-Pro or Bill or Tommy will be able to play in the same team. So it's going to be one of them and those 2 guys that are going to get a game each week. These are the guys that will be rotating. It'll be Semi-Pro 1 week, Bill another week, Tommy another week, and then these 2 guys will be getting a regular game because they'll keep the rating down. So that Semi-Pro has to be careful with that. So that is the league. It's going to be played over 15 weeks, and then I think there's 2 weeks of playoffs. So it's a good while. In fact, the time it's took, it could be 2 of them. Well, that might be close to get them under that rating. Right, so Bill's going comfortably through there against Larry. Larry never really got a show. Right, well, we didn't get a full house tonight. We've had, 2 or 3 buys, and that helps the tournament move on. C Karaoke has gone through in a final rack decider against Spud Boy in the 1-loss side, and then of course that result there with Bill and Larry. Right, so now we'll go back to the bracket and see where we stand, and we will see that Bill is now going to be lined up against Spectre Dawn. quick look across here on this one lost side. Mooncake's waiting on the winner of Z Karaoke and Sylvia. And Z Karaoke's 2-0 up. Sylvia getting the 7 ball. Larry is now going to be playing Eloquente. But we're going to head in and we will see the hot seat match between Bill and Spectre Dawn. If you want to do the league thing, I just go onto the website and sign up, and eventually maybe I end up in a team. That is perfectly put, Rota Monkey. You can add yourself into that list of players, and your rating for whatever type of game it is will show to the captains. So, you can set a team yourself if you want. But if you don't want to get involved in that, just add your name to the list, and there'll be enough captains to have a look at your rating and send you an invite. I mean, the captain thing's a doddle. I mean, it's simple. I always put it this way: if I can work it, any numpty can do it. It's not difficult. And I'm always the ideal tester for stuff like that, because I'm pretty good at finding things to break. Well, the only thing we've got to be concerned about, as you always are with leagues, is who's going to turn up. And of course, Steve says he's put in a reminder set up now. We didn't have a reminder. I totally forgot about the last league test. I forgot it was on, and nobody showed up. Or very few showed up. But you're always, I mean, I'm going to be, as a team captain, I'm going to be keeping in touch with my players. I've already been in touch with them all. They've all had a couple of messages. So the final message I'm going to send them is just confirmation as to what the team is going to be for the first night. Yeah, no, they're all on an evening. So Saturday, when Saturday night comes along my time, it'll be Saturday afternoon your time on the 3rd of September. The time, once it gets to 7 PM British summer time, the rooms will go up for the first set of matches. And once your room goes up, you go in it and you go on with your match. And then once your match is finished, you go out into the lobby and you wait until your next match appears. No, you don't schedule anything. No, you don't. It's not an NRT event. You just turn up on the night, and you know that like a tournament, the thing's going to start at a set time. And once it does, you'll see your room popping up under the league tab, of course, and then you just jump into the room. And if, however, somebody doesn't show up, then it'll be a forfeit, and that player will forfeit all his matches for that night. So, this is a clash of the Titans. Bill has been playing pretty solidly in the last few weeks. I've seen him. I never saw him last week. I don't know whether he was in it, because I wasn't here. And I shouldn't really be here tonight because I'm ill. But like a trooper, I'm here. So Spectre Dawn off and running again. This is a scratch match, no handicap. Couple of balls in the break. Is the one ball staying in play? Yes, it is, but the cue ball's going to have to run. He's going to have to find a gap here. So this all hinges on getting this clean. Good evening to One Pocket Slim. And that was the only problem that was going to cause an issue for Spectre Dawn, was getting that cue ball clean through the traffic. Semi-pro, I've got a question for you. First, I've got a couple of questions. The first question is, have you been rotating your players in your setup to see what meets the rating limit? And if so, have you been able to get two of your players who are over 2,100 odd into your team for one session? Or can you only put one in at a time and then those other two lower rated players to make up the numbers? Because I don't think you will. Because I know that I can't put Popman and MC Clarkey in the same team. Because my team are the highest rated average of all the 6 teams in the league. I think you've got more of a problem than I've got. Right, well, Z Karaoke has won by forfeit. Sylvia's gave up in her match. Meanwhile, Bill hasn't given up here. No, that was a question that Z Karaoke said in the lobby earlier on. The team rating average is no longer checked as a limit. Now, what the hell does that mean? But the lineup is, well, that's what I was talking about, Steve, about the lineup. So I think that's why I was saying that if Semi-Pro goes in and jiggles his players around, I don't think he can get two of those higher rated players in the same team. I'll need a bit of convincing that he can, because I certainly can't get Popman. But as I say, that's because my lower rated players are all over 2,000. Those other players that Semi-Pro's got, one of them's what, 1,600, I think the other one's 1,700 or something, is he? So although they bring the rating down, I don't know whether they bring it down low enough. So Bill, having tied the match up at 1 rack all, again this is a perfect little cut in the 5 to miss the 6 ball. Let's have a look. Well, he can take evasive action to make sure he's missing the 6 ball. I think my mouse disconnected there. What's going on here? Hang on a sec. I've got a bloody arrow on the screen at the moment. My mouse is playing up here. I must. I've got a loose wire. Right, I'm going to go to my reserve mouse. Give me a minute. I'll need to get rid of that arrow on the screen. I'll just head over to my mouse drawer. No, it's a dodgy wire on the mouse. I've just been shaking the mouse around, and I can the wire's gone. Right, because it's disconnecting and reconnecting. Hang on a minute. I've tripped over my water bottle as well. Right, I'm going to tab out to get rid of this cross. I'll be back in a minute once I get the bloody wire out here. Oh, that mouse is going to have to go in the bin, I'm afraid. I've had it for about 15 years. Honestly, I've had it for 15 years. I'm not kidding. Right, we'll put our little micro mouse in, but I'm going to have to tab out to do it. Hang on. Right, we're good to go. Now that's a Microsoft. I got two of them. I got one, and then I think a year or so later I got a second one as a reserve. This is a Microsoft Compact 1000 mouse, and I mean, the feet on it are pretty worn as well, but that's the wire gone loose on it. The actual design of where the wire goes into the mouse is not very good, it has to be said. And just through wear and tear, it's finally gone, so I'm afraid it's bye-bye to that one. I've still got 8 or 9 left. Not the same mouse, 8 or 9 different mice. And that was after thinning them out a few years ago. I chucked some of them out. So I'm down to my little Trust micro mouse that cost me a £5 as my emergency backup. I can have you, Bill, Charlie. I can have me / Bill / Charlie. So you can get the two of them in. Yeah, you'll be giving away hefty handicaps in those other matches though. Yeah, that's why every captain should be jiggling about their team to have a look and see who they can. I mean, I've already done all that, so I know messing about with mine. So Bill has got Spectre Dawn under a bit of pressure here. This is what Spectre Dawn's pretty damn good at. I think he's gone dead straight in this 4 though. Well, he doesn't want to try and get too greedy here. Yeah, he's playing the draw shot rather than trying to stun it up. And again, he's played it pretty well. And now, quick look at this 6 ball. Does that go? Excuse me, that's tight. That is very tight. He's trying to get across for the same pocket, and again, nailed it perfectly. 7 ball wide open. This rack's over. Well, to be fair, the one thing about the leagues is that I didn't know, and Steve told me that when we were having a discussion during the week, is that each session, if anybody's been paying attention, each session of the league, each week, 15 weeks, was originally set to be $100 each week. So you have to have at least $1,000 in your account, and then more for the playoffs if you got to the playoffs. But Steve has already dropped that fee to $50, so that the overall what do you call it? The overall pot for the leagues has dropped because the entry fee has dropped, or the entry fee, I should say, has dropped. So Spectre Dawn back to within 1 and back at the table. Little nudge in the 4 to get behind the 3. And now he has to either decide to stay in the gap or run up the table. I don't know what the angle's like though for that. Let's have a quick shifty round. Yep, he can get up the table into the open. And he's just gone far enough. Right, semi-process. I can have Bill, Tommy, Little Wolf, or me, Tommy, Little Wolf, or any combo with me, Bill, Tommy, and Charlie. I wonder if, I presume the other guys that are running their leagues, running their team are messing about to see who they can put in and who they can't. I'm assuming they've worked that out. Well, Bill had the 3-1 lead, Spectre Dawn got in, and Bill's not had a look in since then, and it's 3 racks all. I'll have a quick drink. Oh, that was I don't know whether I asked Steve that question. And maybe he did answer it before, but I don't remember it. Is it only single league matches we can do? We can't have Scottish doubles as a league, or can we? I don't remember whether we ever asked him that question or whether we did and he answered it. I can't remember. We're maybe getting ahead of ourselves though, but we need to get the first one up and running and over and done with. Well, Spectre Dawn again. It all hinges on how good he gets in the 8 ball, because he doesn't want to be running into the 9 ball when he plays the 8. And from the angle he's going to have off this 7, he probably shouldn't be. Well, he's now probably got to go forward here. I don't know whether he wants to try and say he's going forward with right to come back this line, rather than trying to sneak round behind the 9. And Larry comfortably through 4 racks to 0 on the 1 loss side against Eloquente. Normal league play pays all teams. Now, when you say the word normal, then you've got to explain what not normal is then, Steve. You've got to explain that. You've got to go into more detail. Now, normal league play presumably is the league that we're about to do. What then is not normal league play? What constitutes something other than normal? Now, well, that's not set. So, Spectre Dawn just ducking for cover. I mean, I presume is he talking about the spread of the pot? Whether you can make it winner takes all? Something like that. This is heading for a scratch. So Spectre Dawn should be 2 in front from 3-1 behind. And that could be costly for Bill, because that might be his last shot. Oh well, here's Bill's chance. Monkey Boy would have appeared there. It's a scratch for Spectre Dawn. Ball in hand for Bill, 1 and 2, no problem. We can see where the problem is. It's up here, and that 3 ball will go. So he's got to get right on the spot to be able to pot that 3 ball. This will be a good shot. Missed the 8 ball. He's brushed the 8 and he's hooked. Oh, he nearly pushed the 9 in there with the cue ball. And if that 3 ball glances off the 8 like it does, Spectre Dawn has got a chance to get to the hill. Not dead easy, but a chance with a combo. Well, he's played the bank instead. More assured of the bank than he was of ever getting the combo. And so there's still trouble ahead in this rack for Spectre Dawn. First of all, he's got to get nice on this 6 ball when he pots the 4 and 5. And the other thing is that the 7 ball will go past the 9, but I don't think he wants to be getting that side of it. He's more than likely going to end up doing that though, because if he can get the angle on the 6, the chances are he's going to come up on the short side of the 7. Now, what does he do here? Is he going to run up and down the table, or is he going to try and leave a cut in this 7? He's playing it with right, trying to get around to the open side, and that's perfect. And he can actually come in behind the 8 ball here as well. So again, this is just about controlling the pace. Come in behind the 8 into the same pocket. And that will do. I don't know what that link is, Slim, because I can't click it. I'm just watching it, what appears on my screen. Well, it's looking bleak here for Bill. And Mooncake has taken out Z Karaoke by 4 racks to 1. Over on that 1 loss side. It's moving along quite rapidly. And Spectre Dawn has had the 3 ball in the break. No shot in the 1. Right, let's have a quick look at how this 1 loss side's moving along. Well, Larry is about to start his match with Mooncake, and of course, whoever loses the match, obviously Bill's the favourite to lose this match that we're watching. He's going to come over to this 1 loss side maybe in a minute or 2. And he'll be playing either Larry or Mooncake. But you never know, it ain't over till it's over. But Bill needs a bit of a miracle here. Well, he's had a go at the bank. And that could be his last shot this time if Spectre Dawn can get himself out of that corner. And of course his problem is the 2 ball is, I think, more or less blocked by the 7. Well, it does go. And it's certainly blocked by the 8. So you would think he would try to better his odds by getting the bottom side of this 2 to take it into the side, but he's content to leave it long. And that's not perfect. And this is by no means easy. And we know what happens with this 7 ball. It doubles in size when you're trying to play a blind cut like this. Yeah, that was a tough shot. And that little nudge in the 9 ball hasn't helped Bill's chances a great deal. Friday Night 9 is moving quite well. It certainly is, because I think we're 3 players short or 4 players short. Can't remember. Little nudge. Well, he's nudged it into a combo. It's going to have to be made. But only slightly. This is going in every day of the week, this combo. He's just got to get the line. And now Bill has to break and run for the rest of the match. Well, he's got the first part right. 2 and the 4 ball have followed, but this is where he's going to have to dig a shot out. He's going to have to be really creative with this 1 ball, going for the thin cut, and he's billiarded the 9 in, but the cue balls get in. Well, that's it. It was, Bill couldn't turn it down. He didn't expect that to happen, though. And that's a roll of the ball that Bill could have well done without, because that is most certainly his last shot in the winner's side. Now again, he needs to get the right side of this 6 to make it simple, and that is simple. Perfect to come down onto the 7, because he had the choice of where he wanted to go. He could have just went down the left side, or he could have just done what he done there. It's always good to give yourself choices. Now, he doesn't want to go too square like this. And this has just gone way too far. And there might be a glimmer here for Bill. Well, it's going to be bedhead territory, big time. But this for the match, to go through to the final, never a doubt. So Bill's going to have a little wait. We'll quickly dive into that other match, the 1-loss side. The one between Larry and Mooncake. Larry's already 2-0 up, scratch match, no handicap. Yeah, Stubbs, again, I've said it before, Stubbs' best chance of winning any big events is 9-ball or 10-ball. You know, when it comes to these other type of games where it needs a lot more thinking, that's not in his favour. These are the 2 games where he can rely on his potting ability to dig him out of trouble and have a good chance. Well, he's got a better chance. Let's put it this way, Cobra. He's got a better chance in 9-ball and 10-ball than he ever had in black ball and cribbage and straight pull. Until he comes up against the calibre of player that isn't going to play into his hands. So Mooncake is already at the no-miss stage, 2-0 down, it's only a race to 4. Well, let's just put it this way, he's got a fair chance in these games, but when it comes down to the good position, there's certain shots he's going to fall short on, and he's going to leave himself silly shots he's going to have to bang in to try and stay at the table, and that's where he then gets caught out, because he's not tight enough with his cue ball. So Mooncake off the mark, and he's dry, I think. Now, Larry can see the 1, he can see the 2 obviously, the 3's a problem. And Larry's just gone the wrong side of the 2. He would have been ideally wanting to just drop in behind the 3. He's just the wrong side of the 2 now, because he's limited in where he can get this 3 ball into a hole. Well, he's decided he's going to go for the cut. I don't think he's playing the bank. And this is it. And he's overdone it. Big time. Oh, is he going to get lucky? Yes, he is. Or is he? Because I think Mooncake will dig out the jump cue. Well, this needs to go. And he's... Well, that's probably the best outcome there, to be honest. Because, again, he's left it nothing easy here for Larry, but knowing Larry, he'll maybe give this a go. And of course, the one thing that's left is an 8-9 combo that has to be made. It's not set. He's reverse banked it, and that was excellent. Just squeezed it in past that 6 ball, and he's going to thin cut this one. You have a question about Stub, Potman? Well, I don't think Stub's here to answer it. Oh, there's a clever little nudge that Larry didn't really play, but he'll take it. Fire away, Potman. We'll see if we can help you. A quick mute while I... Was one arm bandit, Stub? I doubt it very much. As far as I know, he's always been Stub. So Larry has got Mooncake on the ropes here. So this is to see, the winner of this is going to be playing Bill in the one loss side final. And not the best of safeties from Larry. Now, can Mooncake pot the 1, come around behind the 6, or is he trying to dig into this cue ball? He might have too much an angle to try and do that. He's trying to avoid the 6. Well, that's helped him. It's not done him any harm. Well, Franco used to say that Franco was cheating, or Franco used to say that Stub was cheating. Oh, that 5 must go in the gap. It does. It's tight, but it does go. Oh dear. He's let the cue ball leak away. I don't think I ever saw that one-arm bandit playing, I don't recall. Well, Mooncake's going to have to do a better jump here because this is to survive. And again, nowhere near it. And if this spins and bounces like it looks as if it's going to, Larry will have a thin cut. Very thin. Oh, that's a nudge in the 7. He doesn't want it to go in though. Or does he? Oh, he'll take that. He landed plumb on the 8 ball. Wrong button there. So Larry goes through to play Bill. Spectre Dawn, meanwhile, has got about another 15-20 minute wait to see who his opponent's going to be in the final. So it's Larry against Bill. Race to 4, and they're about to lag off. And that's close. But Bill has won it. And Larry is getting the 8 ball as his money ball. Extra money ball, that is. So the break is dry. There's a shot on for Larry, and Larry's biggest problem immediately is having a sight on this 3 ball when he pots it too. Now who's that again? Because I've forgotten the name. Good evening. Is that Mooncake? Ah, it's Mooncake. Yeah, you're like me, Mooncake, when it comes to jumping. I don't practice jump shots, so I dig a jump cue out. Well, very rarely now, because I don't play 9 ball very much. It's all cowboy that I play, so my expertise at jumping could be written in 1 line of text. Bloody crap. So Bill has a chance here if he gets this. I think he's going to have to jump over the 9 to get the line. Yes, he is. Oh, he's played that perfectly. That would have been a replay. That was excellent. Excellent jump shot by Bill there. Right, I think this is a good time that this match has just started. I'm going to have to see a man about my bladder. It's about to burst. I'll be back in a minute. Right, that's taking care of business. So we're still in rack number 2. Now, well, this is a cut in the 1. Obviously, the 2 doesn't go past the 5, so Bill's going to have to get as good a line as he can, and I don't think he could have played that any better to try and make the combo. Now, the 2 ball is going to go that way. Depends on the pace that he hits this. Well, he's stunned it firm, and he's actually still got a cut. The cue ball just get into the table. I take it we're talking about VP3. I presume that's what you're talking about. Well, I reckon Steve will be laughing if he's reading this, because I don't think Steve believes that anybody can do any sort of cheating like that in VP4. I've never watched anybody that's led me to believe that they're cheating. More to the point, if he was that successful at it, why is he nowhere to be seen? Yeah, whatever happened to him? That's another player that changed his name umpteen times. So Bill, 2-0 up. People that obviously do that, the ones that do that in all these, first-person shooter games and stuff, they obviously do it for self-gratification. But there's a lot of software now to filter out that type of stuff. But going back to this guy you're talking about, if he was so successful doing it, why is he still not playing VP4? Why is he not in here winning big tournaments? Or let's put it another way: is he winning these big tournaments in a name under disguise? Is he Albinario? But if somebody's, I would know pretty quickly if somebody was cheating at this game. I think, most people who play Virtual Pool 4 know when somebody's playing a proper shot and when they're not. That would become very readily apparent. Well, my question after that is then, if you did know, why was it not a scandal at the time? Because I never heard anything about it. What the hell was I doing at the time all of this was going on? And more to the point, what the hell was Steve doing? That's what I'd like to know. Because I'm sure you must have messaged support about it. And then support would look into it. Well, that must have been the day I wasn't here. Well, the first thing I would have done, if I'd heard anything about it and I was streaming at the time, I'd went in and streamed matches to get evidence. Well, Larry's in the game, but Bill, with a little combo in the 1-6 and a little thin cut, as long as he doesn't drop behind the 3-ball, commentator's eye, he's not going to leave himself hooked. Now this is a bit tight, but Bill fancies a jump. And it's now going to have to be another clever little shot in this 3-ball, because this is one of these blind cuts. What the hell name's that? Anthony Davis Finals something, most valuable player 2000 and whatever. Who's that in VP for? Well, Larry can see a thin edge of this 4. What he's looking for is distance and cover, and that needs to spin, and I don't think it's going to spin enough. Well, Bill trying to be tricky there to try and stop the cue ball leaking past the 8-ball. And he's hung the 4. He's given Larry a lifeline, but Larry immediately's put himself in trouble. He's going to have to punch this 5-ball in big time. And the pace is perfect. He's got out of that well. And now, again, the critical shot is all about the angle on the 8. So he's got an angle to stun to here, but he's trying to come back for it in the side. And straight away he's gone wrong, because he's the wrong side of the 8. And now he's having to, he only needs the 8. What am I talking about? I forgot the handicap. There, I've done it once again tonight. I was wondering about that. I wonder if his name... Let's have a quick look while this match is going on. What's the score? 2 racks. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's have a quick look. Because if his name isn't there... Let's see what this finds. Player gratis. Join date was the 26th of June 2013. Let's have a look. This will be interesting to watch. Right, when was the last time he was here? That was in... he was here 2 days ago. He was here yesterday. I thought this was somebody that'd come and gone. He was here yesterday. August the 18th, my birthday. Just thought I'd mention it again. 2022, but that was at 6:37 my time in the morning, so he's on, obviously, from the USA. But he was playing players that I've never heard of. Tez. There's another one I've never heard of, Mick Hughes. So he's not playing anybody that I know. Well, there's Ripper. No, there's another name I've never heard of. So he's not having a streak of wins. He's not playing, with the greatest respect to those guys, he's not playing anybody I know. So he's not left VP4, but he is gratis, I noticed. So he's only ever playing in the, what do you call that table? The crappy looking one. And he's only got the house queue, and he's got a stack of other queues, so he's bought his queues, he's spent his money. Well, that's interesting. I thought he was a player that was long gone. So he is still online. Right, anyway, back to the match. Yeah, it is just gratis players, yeah. Right, wait a minute, Popman's saying one-armed bandit, not armed, Hugh. Is there more than one guy, says Rotor Monkey. Hugh, it's one-armed bandit. Well, is that not who I found, or is it? Right, let me read this bit. Different guy, Hugh, one-armed bandit. Right, now I'm confused. One-armed bandit. Hugh, it's one-armed bandit. Right, now we've got typos going on and I'm totally confused. Is his name one-armed bandit, as in ONEARMED, or one-armed bandit? Right, so Rotor Monkey says one-armed bandit. Right, is that not the name I had brought up there? Who the hell was that I was looking at then? One-armed bandit is fine, so there's two guys with the same name, is that what we're saying? Because they're not spelled any different from what I'm reading. Hang on a minute until this match is finished and then I'll get back in. No player found. I forgot how he wrote it, capitals, etc. So it's one-arm bandit, not one-armed. Right, anyway, Larry's through. He's going to play Spectre Dawn. I'll go back in and we'll do a quick searching in to have a look. I'll just put one arm in and see what we find. One arm. Oh, hang on a minute. I'll just put arm and then do go. Right, well it only finds one and then capital A, RMED, then capital B for bandit. So, are we saying this isn't him? That's what we're saying. Or are we saying that is the same guy? Because I think if you put one in, you're going to end up with loads. You're going to end up with one pocket slim and all that crap. Hang on a minute. I'll probably find too many. Yeah, there's more than 15 results. There's one-armed bandit. There's one bad hombre. So if I put ONEA, let me try that. Let's see what that brings up. That brings up one-armed bandit. Only brings up 6. No, if there was a one-armed bandit, it would have found him. So it's only finding that one guy. So the assumption is that's him. Well, anyway, we'll worry about that another time. Not that we need to worry. Right, so Spectre, Dawn and Larry are underway. If I can get into the room, that is. Or they're just about to, because Larry's, in fact, we haven't missed anything. So the final is a race to 9. Larry may well be getting 8 ball again, I would think. Anthony says, isn't Stubb one-armed in real life? Yes, he is. Right, it is what? Yeah, there only is one armed bandit. There only is one of them. He'd need to be spelling his name a queer way for him to still have the name One Armed Bandit, and for it still to be recognisable. Of course, the other thing is, if anything came of this alleged cheating back in the day, then if Steve had looked at some information, as I'm sure he can, then he may well have dealt with it and booted him out the door. And then, but then again, he's been registered since 2013, so it's got to be him. He's been here for bloody 9 years, although he's let himself go gratis. Oh, Paulina. Ah, right, I know that name. See, I don't know Anthony this, that, and the next thing, but I know I've seen the name Paulina. Welcome. So, as I thought Larry was going to be getting the 8 ball as his extra money ball, Larry's won the lag, and I think, well, the ball has gone into the side pocket. I just caught it. I don't know what one it was. And it was a 9. And Larry's got no real shot in the 1. So, what time is it? 23 minutes past 9. And we're already into the final, which is good for me. I think Spectre Dawn was a bit too straight in that, but he's came out smelling the roses on the 4. So you're saying that he had a different profile when he was supposedly, allegedly cheating. So we're saying that he wasn't One Armed Bandit when he was accused of cheating. So the question then I would ask is how did anybody know it was him in the first place? Or he didn't use the cheating thing all the time. I understand it now. Well, again, he's gone to that awkward spot on this 6 ball. And this again, he just doesn't miss. And Spectre Dawn, of course, is a player. Has Spectre Dawn signed up for this 10 ball? But we'll see the end of this rack and we'll go and have a look at the sign-ups. Go to the calendar, go to month, go to tournaments, and go to 10 ball, and then go down to the bottom of the calendar, and there's the 10 ball tournament. We'll see that there's 26 open seats for a possible field of 64. If we look down the list, we'll see that Spectre Dawn is in it. Now, Spectre Dawn is the one player that's got a big question mark hanging over his head, as far as I'm concerned. Because obviously he's a player that can step up to 10 ball without any problems. But Spectre Dawn's the one player out of all of these top players that hasn't got himself in the mix when it's counted. So he's yet to produce the goods for a period of time in one of these big tournaments, and he's going to have a chance at it in this up and coming 10 ball. I prefer Fizzle, by the way, rather than Dizzle. Of course, if he was from Scotland, he would have called himself Drizzle. But Spectre Dawn is off and running. 2-0 up. Right, Bill says, for your information, Steve was aware about Bandit, not sure if he got kicked, but Bandit disappeared for a while. But we're not allowed to talk about it or cheating or we'll be kicked. Rumour has it. Well, we're alright on here because you say what you want on here within reason. We're only having a discussion about a player, that's all we're having a discussion about, and then the rumours of what was going on. But looking at the state of affairs now for how he's playing, first of all, he's gratis, so he hasn't renewed his account. He's only ever playing in that numpty room with numpty players who are also gratis. Well, it's a quick 3-0 lead here for Spectre Dawn, and Larry's going to have his chance, and he's probably got it now because it's come up dry and all of these balls are on. Now Larry needs to get up the table. He needs to get right up the table. He didn't want to be there because, let's have a look. Does he want to just tickle this into the side pocket and drop down on the short side of the 3? Or is he taking it up table into the corner? Well, he's nudged the 9. I think he's still okay. Well, Larry's he's still okay. He's just okay. He's going to be leaving this 5 ball long as well by the look of it. I don't think he's going to risk doing much here. Well, he might have been better to do what I said and just leave himself low in this 5 and run it in. He's now got himself awkward. He's going to have to make sure he doesn't hook himself behind the 8. And he's fine. So now he's got to open up this potting angle of the 7 so that he's not hitting the 9. And that angle will work as well, but he's got to go 3 rails here. It needs to slow down. Doesn't want to go too high. And he's going to have to then again, if he could draw into the rail to come across, but he could just take his medicine and leave the long cut. Now again, what am I talking about? I've forgotten he only needs it 8. That's twice I've done it. It's that time of night, folks. Well, look at where the 9 ball is. So Larry is off the mark, trailing by 3 racks to 1. Well, obviously now that I'm remembering that Larry doesn't need the 9, he could finish low in the 3 here. And in fact, looking at the angle, no, he can't. That is not really good. I don't think he could really do an awful lot, though. That was the problem. Well, I think most of us would agree, right, that there's nobody cheating in VP4, right? There's nobody online who's got any sort of hack and doing any sort of cheating. It'd be spotted a mile away. I think you're rest assured that ain't happening. Now, what's Larry done here? Oh, I think he's just lucky. He's just got enough room. Well, the only thing you have to be worrying about, as far as I'm concerned, it's the first-person shooters, multiplayer first-person shooters, where that's rife. But I think a lot of these games now, when I installed Sniper Elite 5, I had to install another bit of software. I can't remember what it was called, but it was an anti-cheat thing. To stop the guys with aimbots and all that stuff. So even when I did go online with Sniper Elite 5, I couldn't shoot anything, and I was getting my ass pummeled every time. You know, I think I finished games where I never got a shot at anybody, and I was dead. So I'm hopeless. So Larry's back within touching distance. He's had a ball in the break. He's overcut the 1. Is he going to get lucky? I don't think he is. And that's a chance gone there for Larry, because Spectre Don's becoming quite an expert at getting his way out of these situations here. He's got to get good in the 2. Pardon me. And he's scratched. So this time the roll of the ball has favoured Larry. He's got a second bite at it. And he's got to get the job done this time. I mean, again, the most obvious thing about anybody who you even suspected of cheating in this game, you would only have to look at them for a matter of minutes, because you know the type of shot somebody has to play to get to a ball, and you look at what they're doing, and if they're not playing to get good on the ball, and yet they're still potting stupid shots, I mean, I'm not talking like Stubb. It wouldn't take you an awful long time to say there's something funny going on here. Certain things would jump out at you. Oh, I think that's the thing. I mean, there's players who play this game offline and they're playing nothing but numpty AI players who are either, they don't miss shots or they just do stupid things all the time, and they like the success that they get with that type of game offline. When they come online and get a pummel and that's it, they don't want anything more to do with it. Out the door they go. So we're back all square. 3 racks all. I'm about to fall asleep. I need to go and take a couple of taps before I go to my bed. See if I feel a bit better in the morning. And don't forget, guys, another quick reminder for those who joined us late. We've got the semi-final match, the one-loss match, on Sunday evening, British summer time, at 1900 hours, which is 1400 hours Eastern Standard Time, 1100 hours Pacific Time, and that is the match between Cobra from the UK and Machine from the States in the VP4 2022 Cribbage World Championships. We'll have a live streaming commentary for that. I presume Steve's going to try and join us wherever the hell he is in the world. But I'll be here. And if you don't make it, you can't watch the match, then you can always watch it on YouTube on the playlist. And now I remember that Larry only needs the 8 ball. So Larry looks odds on, he's going into the lead. Well, having watched a lot of Dizzle's matches in tournaments, there was never anything to suggest that he was ever cheating. Not a thing. Because if that was the case, then you would immediately say, well, Albinari and Cobra are all cheating as well, as is Semi-Pro and all the other top players. There was nothing that would distinguish Dizzle or Franco from any of the other top players, other than he was a good bloody player. Well, Larry's missed his chance there, and it's pretty much gone for this rack, so his lead is going to be short-lived. Well, there has been problems with the playback functionality in some of the files. I've noticed that on the watch option in VP4. I don't think that's been fully functional for a little while. Yeah, that's another player we haven't seen for a while. Eisen. He's long gone. He might be dead as well. We just won't know. Well, I think Larry's probably resigned to going back behind here by the odd rack. Assuming this 2-ball goes comfortably, which it does. And then he's got to just make sure he stays on the 3, so just dropping below it. Now, he's probably going to have to jack up and punch this in so he can stay this side of the 4. Can't believe he's trying to roll forward. Yep, just getting a bit of dig into the cue ball. And there's another player we haven't seen for a long time, Romario. I don't know what the hell's happened to him. He might be another victim of COVID or whatever, we don't know. That's the thing. These are players that have been long-term virtual pool players, but we haven't seen sight nor sound of them. We haven't seen Romario for at least 2.5, if not 3 years. Cueless. Well, I mean, you've got to remember as well, there's a fair few players that have passed away. But, I mean, again, these players I'm talking about, Romario's a regular, haven't seen him, not get any contact details from him. He's one of these people that, didn't make much information about him available, as was Dizzle. I mean, I've never had any contact details for any of those players. But it'd be good just to know how things were going. Well, Spectre Dawn trying to squeeze the 1 past the 9, which he has done. And well, this will be another good shot because he's got to get this cue ball around the houses here. Big time. Loads of right English, get the pace in it and get it running. And that's why he's missed the 2. You start pushing it offline with spin, and he never really got there. And Larry is going to have to do the same thing. He's going to have to get this running. He's trying to go inside just to come up the table. Inside English to bring it back down this line. And he doesn't want to run into the 3 like that, but he's come out again smelling the roses. He wanted to miss it, I believe. Then again, he might say he wanted to run into it, but the safest route was to miss it. Well, that's what I've always said, Cobra, because I've got no relatives I speak to, right? And I've got absolutely nobody who would come online like what's his name's son under my profile to tell you anything. If I don't turn up for 2 or 3 days, then rest assured I'm lying dead in my bed, dead in front of the telly, or one of the 2. That's the only way you guys will find out I'm not around. And the only good thing is that you can always go and watch the odd match on YouTube. Good evening to Bankster. Well, that's if she doesn't die first, Cobra. If you lose the missus first, you're still in the same shit. You've still got nobody to tell us. But then again, like most places in the world, us guys, especially if you're married, you get run into the ground and you look 20 years older than you really are because you're married. There won't be a guy who'll deny that. It puts years onto you and it shortens your lifespan. I have to admit, I mean, I think, I remember when Elvis died. I'm that old. I remember when Elvis died, and I read it, and I saw it in the telly when they said he was only 42, and I thought at the time that was 1977, and I distinctly remember saying at the time, because I would have been 13 in 1977, and I can remember thinking, by God, I wonder if I'll ever reach 42. And now I'm 58. And now I'm looking forward to retiring and thinking of how many years I've still to go. But I'll tell you something, I just want to keep enough money in the bank so that if I ever end up some sort of vegetative state or some sort of condition whereby it is only going to get worse, then I'll make sure that I get shipped out the country and go to that place and whatever the hell it is. That's a scratch. I'll make sure I've got enough money in the bank just to cover the shipping costs and the burial fees and whatever else they want to charge us to get me put away. Like going to the vets. Yeah, Switzerland. Yep. That's where I'll get them to put me, because I ain't going to sit in a bloody wheelchair for another 10 years dribbling down my bloody shirt and only being able to move for the neck up. Mind you, that's pretty much the way I've lived most of my life anyway, just from the neck up. Well, that's what I'm talking about, Slim. You know, you don't want to be. We're really getting in a morbid state, aren't we? Who started that, Cobra? Well, I did say that some of the VP4 players had died, had passed away. And we're losing track of this match here, as is Larry, because he's trailing by 2, and Spectrodon can dig out another shot in this 7-ball. It's not looking too bright for Larry, and again, straight into the heart of the pocket. Every time I start talking about death, all I just think about is the Monty Python song. I just keep going to the life of Brian. At the end of it, always looking the bright side of life, and that's the way to look at it. It's going to happen to us all. All I just hope is it's quick and painless. That's all I hope. And remember, you can't take your money with you, so you might as well spend it. Well, Larry is at the stage where he has to take everything out when he gets a chance. He's got an immediate problem here because he's got to get good on this 3. He's checked the cue ball to stay at distance from it. He's leaving himself work to do. he's close to the rail, so again he's limited what he can do with the cue ball. And he's getting himself in trouble. And again he's in trouble. He's way the wrong side of this 5 ball. And he's going to have to dig into this, get the spin working and not hook himself in the 6. And that's perfect. That was excellent. So just the 8 ball, get Larry back in touch, but he needs a ball and a shot. Yeah, Senny's son came here for a little while, but I don't think he was too enamoured with Virtual Pool 4. I think he only really did come to announce the death of his dad. Again, Larry's got trouble here. That 3 will squeeze past the 6. He's just got to watch the pace. Again, he's just overcooked it slightly. Now, if he overcuts it by a little bit, that's giving him a much bigger pocket off the 6th. What he doesn't want to do is undercut it. He can overcut it slightly and get away with it. He could even probably go to the rail, hit the 6 and still go in. Well, again, if he's going to play safe, he just bumps it 2 rails over to this side to open up the 8 ball. Nothing fancy, just 2 rails. Well, he's gone to no man's land again. Well, it will cut in the side, but he's got to know that he's well past the 50-yard line here, so he's got to get the cut on it. Played it well. Back to within 1. But Larry needing a ball and a shot. And he's come up dry, I think. And what's more, well, he's left Spectre Dawn a jump where if Spectre Dawn gets this flush, he could possibly follow this in. He might be playing it with a slight angle, I don't know. Yeah, it went to the rail first. But I'm expecting a lot of Spectre Dawn in this 10-ball tournament. It's about time he stepped up to the plate. Because he's far too good not to get deep in, not to be getting deep into these tournaments. And I can't even recall him. I mean, somebody might know, but I can't recall him getting deep into these big tourneys. Bearing in mind he's not going to play in a lot of them, because unless it's the ones that he wouldn't play cribbage, he didn't play black ball either, did he? You know, Albinario is an adapt and survive player. Did he make a final? Somebody might, well, Spectre Dawn will know himself. But nobody ever remembers you getting to a final. All that people remember is whether you won one of these big ones. I'll go with what Cobra's just said. Well, Spectre Dawn looking odds-on favourite here to be on the hill, one away. But he's going to have to work this cue ball big time here. Let's have a look. It's got to be a draw. If he goes forward, he doesn't want to be too much spinning it, so he's having to play the draw. And that's as safe a route as anything. So Larry's at the point of no return. Spectre Dawn breaking. And the rack that he needs to win yet another Friday night 9-ball. One ball has gone in as well. I think something else went in. Yeah, the 1 ball, the 6 ball has gone. He's awkward over the 7. The 2 cuts obviously past the 3. This is match ball right now. If he gets this, lands in the 3, nudges the 4 nearer the pocket, then it's all over. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Yeah, I think he's going to dig down in this one and not scratch in the side. I don't know whether he wants to go forward. I think he's going to jack up and dig in. No, he's going forward. See, the only thing that was wrong with that shot is he was odds on to run into the 8. Now, why he didn't see that, I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't jack up and dig in to come across. That was crazy. Look at where he's stuck. No, Mal's not in it. I'd be surprised if he showed up. And Mal's too busy politically to be bothered. Yeah, that was just asking too much. But again, I go back to that shot that he played there. I can't understand why he didn't. I mean, the obvious thing was to jack up and get the punch into it and go to the rail. The danger was a scratch. But to leave it where he left it and to get away with it like this, because he's left nothing easy for Larry. The match should have been over. And that might be the incentive that Larry needs, but Larry needs more than an incentive. He needs to get a roll of the ball here in this next break. Only needs the 8 ball now. Watch the cue ball. Oh, that was almost gone. Well, Larry needs the break to happen now. Well, there's the biggest. That would have been Monkey Boy there. Scratching the break. And the only lifeline Larry's got is that 3 and 7 ball tied up. But already Spectre Dawn's working out how to deal with things here. Now, he can easily deal with this straight away if he runs the one into the side pocket, runs to the rail and bumps the 7 and 3. Doesn't look like he's doing that. Now again, I'm surprised because I think the odds are that if he'd run into the 3 and 7, he was bound to be on the 2. He's going to try and draw into them. Well, that worked. Again, he's got to get a wee bit of dig in this. Let's have a look at how that cue ball coming off this. Yeah, that'll do. So 8 ball into the same pocket as a 7. Cue ball will just come across in a nice line for this 8 ball. So it's yet another Friday night 9 ball for Spectre Dawn. No, he hasn't been back. He's certainly not been in any tournaments. He wasn't in the cribbage. He's chiefly 9 ball Mal. So well done to Spectre Dawn again. And Larry didn't get the break that he needed in that last rack there. He ended up scratching and that was his last shot. So Friday night 9 ball is all over and I'm off to bed. So thanks everybody for watching. Remember, Sunday night, 7 PM British Summer Time, we've got that one-loss side match in the Cribbage World Championship between Cobra and Machine. I'll be there for it. I hope you can join us. Until then, I will bid you good night and take care, and we'll see you again soon.